Hello there. Today I'm going to share my crystal collection with you all. I asked if you guys were interested, and a lot of you were, so here it is. I have a small collection, not too extensive. Most of my stones are very small, as you'll see. But I thought it might be interesting anyways. And also, I'm by no means an expert. I am not very good at identifying stones, and my memory's also not very good. So if I get something wrong, feel free to correct me. I definitely am interested in learning more. Yeah. Alright. Let's go ahead and get started. I usually have all my stones kind of sitting out on my dresser, but I've moved them to this box for the purposes of this video. It's a carved wooden, incense box. It's really beautiful. It was a gift. It's got swirls and flower petals and flowers. It's really beautiful. And it smells really good. I've picked out my favorites. This box smells like incense. It's wonderful. Alright. Just to kind of set the relaxing mood, I'm going to go ahead and light a little bit of incense. This is an interesting kind of incense that my aunt is very interested in. Oh, that sounded weird. My aunt really likes it, and she recommended it to me. It's incense sticks without the actual wooden dowel in it. It's only the incense portion, so it is very delicate. But a benefit is that you can just break off a small piece and just burn that, and not have to worry about wasting a whole stick or having to extinguish it or whatever. And it also is way less smoky, much better So it's interesting because if you look at it straight on, it looks more bluish, but anytime there's light behind it, like the flame, it's golden. So just the way that the light interacts with it is really beautiful. And it's translucent, of course, since it is glass, but obviously quite milky. But opal's one of my favorite stones, so even though this isn't really a natural stone, I gotta have it. It's beautiful. I also have an unpolished one, but it's not quite as interesting to look at. Alright, I'm pretty sure the rest of these are natural stones, so next we'll start with something kind of plain, just a quartz crystal. I have a couple of these. It's just one of them, a small one I picked up at an art shop in Nashville. They had a crystal trunk show, and I bought several of these. I think it's so fascinating how they form this way. I mean, you see this and you think like a faceted diamond is cut that way. And diamonds do form in kind of a crystalline structure, but not the way you really see them in a ring. But like, this is all nature. It's incredible. It seems so unnatural, but it really is natural. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of grab around, and that's how the order will go. This I've had again since I was a kid. I've been collecting stones and rocks and stuff for a long time. This one I think is a jade. It's got some beautiful, beautiful like rivets, or what would you call that? Like bands, I guess, that run through it. It's beautiful. The multi-tones, and there's cracks that run through the whole thing. You can get the depth of it. It's really beautiful. Now this one is quite similar, but it is a different stone. This is a venturine, kind of like adventurine, something like that. Let's see if I can zoom it in a little bit more. There you go. This one, I almost, from a distance, it looks like it's just like a solid green, but when you're up close, you can tell that it's actually got little speckles of it, light and darks. It's kind of translucent. It's very cute. And I'm not super knowledgeable about metaphysical stuff, so I'm not really going to talk about that. Next, I think this is called Dalmatian jasper. That's makes sense. It looks, like a Dalmatian. I just think this is an awesome looking stone. It looks just so unnatural, and it's just phenomenal that this could be just created naturally. I mean, you gotta think about the natural processes that had to happen to make this possible. And it's beautiful now that it's polished. You can see all the different specks and colors, and it's just beautiful. My eyes are very dry for some reason. Alright, next. This is just a tiny piece, but this is amethyst. This is one of my very favorite stones. It's very common like quartz and rose quartz, but I still quite like it. And then I also have an amethyst bracelet that I love. I think it's beautiful. And these are all such nice size stones. It's so nice to wear, and they just kind of clank against each other. It's such a pleasant sound to me. I love wearing this. It actually really calms me. I know that sounds kind of silly, but I do really enjoy wearing this. And it's just super cute. Alright. Next, let's look at another quartz. This is rose quartz. I've got it in this fun little springy container. I've got two, and you'll see the other one here in a minute. This one's quite tight, but you can essentially just pull it open and get the stone out and put whatever stone you want in there, and it's like instantly wearable. So I've got this one on a chain right now. It's a really nice little accessory to have if you collect stones, because for me, I like to keep them in their raw form, or in this case, a polished form. Or, I mean, this one's been carved, obviously, but I prefer not to drill holes in them and, or have them permanently wire wrapped. I like to keep them whole, and stand alone. So these little springs are great. And also you can just instantly swap out whatever stone you're wearing based on your outfit or your mood. So that's really fun. Alright. Next we've got a stone that I'm not quite sure what it is. It's a blue stone. I do not think this is lapis. I'm trying to remember the name of the other common blue stone. Let me see if I can look it up really quick. So I know that lapis is blue, but I don't think lapis has all this white running through it. So I think the other piece I have that I'm going to show you is lapis. So I think this one might be sodalite. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Let me know if you have a better idea than me. I love the shape of this one because it just feels like it's been polished by like a running stream or something. It's still very organically shaped. I like this one. Alright, next, this was one of my all-time favorite stones. I bought this my freshman year of college from a street vendor. He just like pops up in the park sometimes, and I just adore it. It's a beautiful stone, and it's beautifully carved. This is it is such a beautiful stone. And it's funny because in a dull light or from a distance, it just looks like a dark green, greenish brown. It's like not special, but as soon as the light hits it, look at that. Just rainbows. It's beautiful. And the most common color flashes, as they're called, really the golds and yellows and greens and blues. The pinks, I guess blues are slightly less common, but the like pinks and purples are going to be the more uncommon. And I love this one because, let's see if I can get the right side. Which side it's on now? I think it's, yeah, right here. There's a nice pink section up here. Oh, it's so beautiful. And a little bit down here. Kind of hard to see. This is just a mesmerizing thing to look at. It really calms me down. I took a geology class a couple years ago, and we were looking at different stones, and there was one of the feldspars that we were looking at. I noticed that it was very subtle, especially compared to something like this, but it was a dark green stone, and I was looking at it at different angles, trying to find ways to identify it, and I noticed it had this kind of oil spill-like effect on the surface, and I immediately went home, and I went home after class and immediately started doing research on the scientific names and origins for labradorite, and it is definitely a feldspar, so that was a fun little learning experience. Alright, we're winding down. Next, we've got citrine, and this one's also in a springy thing. I can actually demonstrate this. Let's pull it out, just like that. I have citrine here. Citrine is such a beautiful stone. It makes me so happy. It's golden. It almost kind of looks like amber a little bit, like a really light amber. Yeah, it's just a really warm color. Really beautiful, kind of like honey. Alright. Now I've got a ring. It's made of bad metal, so it turns my fingers green, so I don't really wear it, but I absolutely adore this stone. I might pull it out and have it reset. This is a moonstone. It's very similar to opal and very, very similar to the opalite, which is the basically unnatural version of this. But zoom you in so you can get a little more detail on this. It's again got kind of a iridescent rainbow sheen to it, which, as you can tell, I'm so into. I really love it. It's just mesmerizing. This one's in a teardrop shape. Really beautiful. Some moonstone just looks like quartz, but some of them have that rainbow and they're actually classified as rainbow moonstone. So I gotta love it. Love it. Alright. This is the last small stone, and then I've got two larger ones. This one I got recently. I think I got it in fall break. This is moss agate. And the stone just seems like it's not natural. It looks like something cast in resin, but it's really, it's amazing that this was created naturally. So yeah, it's actually fairly uncommon just because most agate in the world is the striated kind, and the process to create this is much less likely than that of average agate. And it's carved into the shape of a worry stone, which is a nice touch. So you can kind of rest your finger in the valley and rub it when you're anxious or nervous. It's a beautiful piece in the collection. I love it. Alright, now we're on to the larger stones. Alright, I'll zoom you out a bit. Alright, now this one I'm pretty sure this is lapis. It is a blue stone with metallic flecks all throughout it. Got this one at a thrift store. So funny to find things like that there. It's very large and it's a very strange shape. Now again, I could be wrong about what kind of stone it is, so if you happen to know, go ahead and leave me a comment. I love learning. It almost looks like a galaxy. It's beautiful. Alright. And the last stone I have is very large. It is selenite. Selenite is gorgeous. It kind of, from a distance, looks like quartz, just plain quartz. But you can easily tell that it's not because of its kind of grain. It's got a very obvious grain to it. And it's beautiful in the way it reflects light. You can see it. It's kind of like a cat's eye effect. It's gorgeous. This is a candle holder, actually. It's got a little spot for a tea light candle. And then it's just natural, raw on the sides, and then polished top and bottom. That's a nice sound, isn't it? I got this one at a thrift store too. It's very, very heavy. It smells like a candle, obviously. But it's also somewhat transparent. I'll do this without trying to extinguish my flame, but you can kind of see the glow that it creates. You can see that grain in it a little better. It's beautiful. I love this piece. I also just don't have very many large stones, so it's nice to have that. Alright. So that is pretty much it for my gemstone collection. I have a couple other small ones, but I have no idea what they are, and they're very, very small, so I
just picked out my favorites. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too boring, or I hope it was just boring enough. As always, all my links are going to be down in the description for anything you could possibly be asking for. And go ahead and like this video to help more people find my channel, because I know a lot of you have found my channel through recommended videos, and this really helps more people find them. I really hope you enjoyed this video.